2018 Ford Ka Plus Active Review. The good points of Ford Ka Plus Active: toughened-up SUV appearance, efficient petrol and diesel engines, comprehensively equipped to the price. The bad points of Ford Ka Plus Active: no four-wheel drive option, lacks any real edge on a Ka Plus. Rugged SUV-inspired styling cues set the Ford Ka Plus Active besides its more orthodox Ka Plus hatchback sibling, a model which benefits from several improvements for 2018. Active will be the tag Ford is definitely to these otherwise conventional hatches that contain undergone a crossover-style makeover. Ka Plus Active joins the Qashqai-announced Fiesta Active that arrives in Ford showrooms during 2018. Does the Ford Ka Plus Active have four-wheel drive? Forget any notions from the Ford as an alternative for the Fiat Panda 4x4, a little car with all the go-anywhere ability of the mountain goat. Instead, the Ka Plus Active remains front-wheel drive such as the hatches considering, vying for marketplace attention together with the likes in the Dacia Sandero Stepway, Kia Picanto's line, less costly versions on the Suzuki Ignis and Vauxhall Viva Rox. The Ka Plus Active's introduction also heralds the arrival of two new engines which feature within the refreshed Ka Plus hatchback. Expected to get the most popular is often a new 3-cylinder 1.2-liter TVCT non-turbocharged petrol motor in 70 horsepower and 85 horsepower forms. It's joined by the diesel with the first time from the Ka Plus 95 horsepower 1.5-liter TC turbocharged unit that's better suited to drivers who cover a larger annual mileage. Official performance and fuel efficiency figures is going to be confirmed nearer the Ka Plus Active's on-sale date inside UK, however with standard stop-start systems they will prove being frugal. What's different in regards to the Ka Plus Active? While the Ka Plus hatchback majors on like a spacious, value-for-money supermini, the Active version is adorned which has a number of superficial alterations meant to make it better. Like an SUV, the Ka Plus Active sits a better view on the path. The ride height is increased by 23 mm compared together with the conventional hatch, as the bumpers, sills and wheel arches are clad in black plastic, suggesting a latent toughness. At least it'll brush off recreation area scraps without ruining the paintwork. A list of unique Active 15-inch alloy wheels complete the outer makeover. Inside, the modifications look more subtle and are also limited to the creation of brown, sienna hazel, stitching and flashes about the upholstery. Is the Ka Plus Active well equipped? As part with the improvements on the whole Ka Plus range, the Active version advantages of an expansive choice of standard features. Electric front windows and door mirrors, remote central locking, a starter button and hill start assist are part in the package, while optional features range from the Sync 3 multimedia system full of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, automatic lights and wipers, and rear parking sensors, offered by extra cost. Primarily though, the Ka Plus Active isn't one you'd upgrade on luxury touches. The target here is on practicality and decent value. Unlike many cars in this particular segment, there's space, just, for 5, while useful features, for instance an external tailgate release and 60 hours 40 minutes split rear seats complete the photo. Are going to be among the first drive an automobile the newcomer, so check back around soon for your full Ford Ka Plus Active review. Economical choice of engines. Performance not only a high priority. Manual, automatic and 4x4 available. Propulsion to the Nissan Qashqai is provided by a selection of 4 engines, 2 diesels and 2 petrols give the power. All are turbocharged and fitted that has a start-stop system that automatically cuts the engine in a few instances when the vehicle is stationary in order to save fuel, minimizing emissions. It restarts automatically, simply when your watch to number of again. Duo of diesels. Most Qashqais are powered through the Renault Zorst 1.5-liter DC diesel engine, producing 110 horsepower. However, its quieter, smoother plus more economical laptop or computer was in its predecessor. It's ended up tweaked to have an extra 20 Nm, now 260 Nm, of torque or pulling power, that can help in gear acceleration. Nissan quotes figures of 113 miles per hour and also 062 miles per hour use of 11.9 seconds, so expect performance being no in excess of adequate for any vehicle with this size. Nevertheless, it's quiet during normal driving, only becoming noisy when extended, with no worse than a lot of diesels. Its extra torque in the entry-level petrol causes it to become easier there driving in many respects. Top diesel could be the 1.6-liter DC unit with 130 horsepower, carried over through the previous Qashqai. It's provided with either 2- or 4-wheel drive. It offers flexible acceleration which is quiet enough compared to using the competition, although engine roar can creep into your cabin. This is more noticeable because the 2017 facelift centered on reducing wind and road noise. Stick while using 6-speed manual gearbox and front-wheel drive for the top speed of 118 miles per hour, 320 Nm of torque from 1,750 revolutions per minute sees a 062 miles per hour period of 9.9 seconds. Opt for your Stronic automatic gearbox. These figures dip to 114 miles per hour and 11.1 seconds, even though the 4-wheel drive Qashqai with manual transmissions stakes claims of 118 miles per hour and 10.5 seconds. Pair of petrol engines. The range kicks off while using a 1.2-liter direct injection gasoline turbocharged. In the event you were wondering, engine with 115 horsepower and 190 Nm of torque. While 1.2 liters might sound a little for the small side to power what is usually a fairly large car, Nissan claims they have zestier performance compared to the old 1.6-liter petrol engine fitted towards the previous Qashqai, and also being cheaper. A top speed of 115 miles per hour is claimed for your manual version, having a 062 miles per hour period of 10.6 seconds. Opt with the Stronic automatic, available on the end of 2014, and in addition they become 108 miles per hour and 12.9 seconds, respectively. On the highway it's very quiet and smooth, although just a little lacking in performance at low revs. Overtaking can be extremely hard work, and also to get the most in the Nissan Qashqai 1.2 DIG you must keep the revs up. At lower speeds out it feels a lot at home, however, and then for urban driving might well be the pick in the range. Headline: Nissan Qashqai performance figures belong for the 1.6-liter DIG engine, which has been released at the conclusion of 2014. Performance is hardly blistering, despite having 240 Nm of torque on tap from 2,000 revolutions per minute. Nevertheless, it will gain a top speed of 124 miles per hour as well as a 062 miles per hour period of 8.9 seconds. It can be an impressively refined, quiet engine as well as the most relaxing power source available. Transmission choices. All models come as standard using a 6-speed manual gearbox that has a longish but pleasant action, although Nissan's new Stronic CVT continuously variable transmission has engineered artificial gears or steps to protect yourself from the elasticated feeling common to this sort of gearbox. Without them they generally tend to make the engine rev for a much higher rate compared to the road speed suggests is essential, These faux gears are something of any success, the transmission feeling much like a regular automatic gearbox on the highway. Safe, predictable handling. Unlikely to sate enthusiastic drivers. Raft of onboard electronic stability aids. Conventional car-like handling was one with the key attributes in the original Nissan Qashqai, as well as the second-generation model continues the theme. Although there's an abundance of body roll when cornering, it's well controlled and also the car feels safe and stable always. It's most certainly not exciting to operate a vehicle, but as sure-footed family transport it's challenging to criticize. Nissan Qashqai 2017 Facelift. Nissan made detailed changes to spring and damper rates as part with the 2017 facelift, together with beefing within the steering to supply more positive feedback. It's meant to make steering feel natural and works, to some extent. It's not the sharpest handler from the sector, nonetheless it's not far off. There's an abundance of electronic witchcraft happening behind the scenes to maintain the Qashqai for the straight and narrow, with assorted levels of braking force put on each individual wheel while cornering or traveling over undulating surfaces to maintain Nissan's body as flat and stable as it can be. As well as making the automobile more nimble, the organization claims this actually also improves comfort for passengers. All-wheel drive versions get yourself a more sophisticated suspension setup which has a multi-link layout in the rear. Ride quality for all those versions no matter drivetrain is excellent, with both large bumps and smaller imperfections absorbed smoothly. This same multi-link arrangement was designed to all DIGT 163 versions on the start of 2016. The Qashqai is evenly at home out, where its raised driving position causes it to become a cinch to position on the highway. It's an easy task to park, particularly if equipped with parking cameras. Higher grades get 360-degree panoramic cameras which offer a snapshot all sides. Handy for avoiding harm to your alloy wheels when parking near a curb. Qashqai, front-wheel drive or AWD? Top-spec Qashqais may be ordered with all-wheel drive. AWD are available with Ford-driven wheels. They operate as front-wheel drive generally in most conditions, and can send power rearwards when the front axle is struggling for grip. You won't cross the Sahara from it, but it really'll prove excellent for keeping you going into snowy weather, when towing or crossing a slippery field. Traction within a Nissan Qashqai is consequently excellent. Even the punchier engines won't strain the wheels and you're unlikely to come across wheel spin, even though pulling out of your damped junction in the hurry. Build quality good but plastics not nearly premium. Glazed roof helps make the cabin seem airier. More safekeeping than its predecessor. This is undoubtedly an area when the second-generation Nissan Qashqai is really a great improvement over its predecessor. The original was beginning to feel dated, having its plain design and big expanses of cheap plastics. While materials in Czech have been quite definitely improved, they're still behind the degree found within the likes on the VW Tiguan, but fit and complete is now excellent. The 2017 facelift added further soft-to-touch plastics, a fresh steering wheel with better ergonomics and also a redesigned infotainment computer, built to feel a lot more like using a smartphone with tiles of apps to traverse. Some will find the Qashqai feels just a little more claustrophobic than its predecessor as a result of its thicker pillars and much more shallow windows, but that is remedied through the huge glass roof designed for top trims. An electric blind is suited as standard, enabling you to block bright sunshine over a bright day. The raised driving position, one on the car's key selling points, remains, and it's all too easy to get comfortable with an abundance of adjustment to seat and wheel positions. Higher spec models now include electrically adjustable lumbar support too, an attribute more commonly entirely on more premium cars. A 5-inch screen involving the rev counter and speedometer displays a multitude of useful information, and it is easy to scroll between different menus and procedures without it to become distraction. An electronic handbrake button is adopted, permitting more space for storage relating to the front seats. Roomy cabin great for family life. Quieter than previous generation. Rearward visibility not great. Nissan Qashqai comfort remains impressive. Loved ones of 4 or 5 are going to be very in your own home here. There is an abundance of space front and back, although watch headroom is pinched from the fitment on the panoramic glass roof. Kids is going to be fine, but taller adults may notice their heads brushing the headlining inside back seats. The Qashqai comes only as being a 5-seater nowadays. The MK1's Qashqai Plus 2 version with 3 rows of seats continues to be discontinued. Access to all 5 seats is not difficult enough, along with the middle seatbelt inside back row is actually built into your backrest, instead of hauling down on the ceiling, as with its predecessor. The front seats feel relaxed and supportive over long journeys. The 2017 Qashqai added more at-ease chairs with new foam padding, better upper body support and 4-way adjustable lumbar support on high-spec models. Top-trim Techno Plus models will also get new lattice workfect Nappa leather, which feels very luxurious to stay in. Seat heating can be acquired on some trims, too. Road and engine noise have already been reduced compared while using previous generation. The 1.5-liter diesel engine is really a little less vocal than before at motorway speeds. Both diesel and petrol units are whisper quiet. Ride quality over imperfect surfaces is nice too, so occupants are unlikely to get jostled around, even if your bigger 18 and 19-inch alloy wheels are fitted. The fitment of additional sound-deadening material, and thicker glass within the rear windows, has added for the comfort to be had. 2017 on Qashqais are some of the most refined cars on this crossover market. Like the first Sword model, rear visibility isn't fantastic though. The tiny third side windows within the large rear pillars don't really provide a clear view for over-the-shoulder or blind spot checking, so you'll be relying heavily within the 360-degree view camera system. 5 trim levels from Visia to Techno Plus. All feature aircon, DAB radio and Bluetooth. Lots of variation, most select and connecta. Currently the Nissan Qashqai lineup contains 5 standard trim levels which continue with the firm's established naming conventions of Visia, Ascenta, and Connecta, Tecna, and from summer 2017 onwards Techno Plus on the top in the range. Standard Nissan Qashqai SUV equipment. Entry-level Visia derivatives are typically fitted with handheld remote control, central locking, 4-on-a-touch electric windows and LED daytime running lights. No alloy wheels about this grade though, instead you receive 16-inch steel ones that includes plastic wheel trims. From the 2017 facelift, DAB digital radio was put into every Qashqai. Look out also for just a new Bose Hi-Fi on top ear grades below. Hill Start Assist makes getaways and inclines easier and works in conjunction using the electronic parking brake to hold the automobile for nearly 3 minutes upon an incline, while cruise control can make lighter work of longer schleps. You can connect your phone or very good music player via Bluetooth, an AU ZIN socket or USB, playing out of 4-year-old speakers for your DAB head unit. Note that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto aren't available with the Nissan Qashqai yet. Other creature comforts are limited, but you do get manual aircon to maintain your cabin cool in summer and electric door mirrors that happen to be heated to defrost in the wintertime. Moving up towards the Ascenta grade, add 17-inch alloy wheels, dual-zone climate control and front fog lamps, Extra interior kit has a leather finish to the new flat-bottomed tire, electric door mirrors that fold flat on the touch of any button, and two-tone seat upholstery. Connected versions gain an upgraded infotainment system called Nissan Connect with 7-inch touchscreen above. This includes DAB digital radio and smartphone connectivity, that has a range of apps for online community, music and entertainment, and from summer 2017 comes using the new shark fin antenna within the roof and 18-inch alloy wheels. Also about the kit list are parking sensors front and back, keyless entry and push-button start, a rear-view camera which usefully is self-cleaning, and darkened rear privacy glass. Until 2017, to the next stage up was the Qashqai Vision, but I thought this was discontinued in 2017. It added a sportier air, having a dark headlining, leather and Alcantara upholstery, a panoramic glass roof to create the cabin less claustrophobic, along with an electrically adjustable driver's seat. The penultimate Qashqai trim is termed Techna and features 19-inch alloy wheels, roof rails as well as a glass roof, along with an 8-speaker Bose stereo and LED headlamps. On the inside you will discover heated seats with partial leather upholstery and electric operation, as well as a 7-inch touchscreen display with smartphone connectivity and Nissan's surround view camera system to aid with parking and low-speed maneuvering. This uses cameras on all sides on the car to generate a color display bird's-eye look at its surroundings. Front and rear parking sensors are standard too. The Techna may go a stride further and park itself. The Park Assist system can autonomously steer into parallel and bay parking spaces even though the driver controls the pedals. Topping the range will be the new Techna Plus trim above, launching as part on the 2017 Facelift. It incorporates a host of gadgetry, including 4-way pneumatic lumbar support, a characteristic more commonly seen on executive cars, along with a memory function for seats and mirrors so they really adjust to your key's individual settings if you step to the car. It also bundles inside the latest 8-speaker Bose stereo, glitzy latticework finish with the Napa leather seats front and back, and externally you obtain satin silver door mirror caps and roof rails. You can upgrade the leather to rich plum color, being an optional extra. Optional Nissan Qashqai SUV accessories. Individual options for your Qashqai may be restricted, limiting cautious a choice of metallic paints, alloy wheel upgrades, styling kits as well as the panoramic glass roof. Additionally, there's many different option bundles, but they're not all provided by every trim level. So check together with your Nissan retailer to determine what combinations are possible. Comfort Pack, an airier cabin thanks towards the panoramic glass roof with on a touch electric shade, satin silver roof rails. Heat Pack, an electrically heated windscreen and heated front seats make wintry mornings quicker to live with. Smart Vision Pack, includes traffic sign recognition, automatic main beam, lane departure warning, autonomous emergency braking, front and back parking sensors along with an anti-dazzle rear view mirror. Tech Pack, combines the Nissan Connect 7-inch touchscreen with SatNav, Bluetooth connectivity, smartphone apps plus a reversing camera. Plus privacy glass. Executive Pack, builds upon the Heat Pack with dark leather trim with an electrically adjustable driver's seat. Rated 5 stars by Euro NCAP. Raft of up-to-date safety kit. Many products are optional. In the Euro NCAP test, the Nissan Qashqai scored the complete 5 stars, with particularly high scores for adult and child protection, together with a strong score for pedestrian safety. Various active safety technology systems can be obtained under Nissan Safety Shield banner. Depending on trim, some are standard and several are extras at expense. Understand the equipment section for details. Systems available include Blind spot warning. This has become upgraded to work with radar sensors to detect vehicles hidden inside the Qashqai's blind spot. It illuminates a light inside corresponding windscreen pillar to warn the motorist. Intelligent driver alertness. Displays a warning for the instrument panel should steering inputs become erratic in the way that suggests the driving force is drowsy. Front collision avoidance and forward emergency braking. Scans the trail ahead via radar and issues an audible warning whether or not this detects an imminent collision, before applying the brakes automatically for unexpected expenses. Can now spot pedestrians too. High beam assist. Automatically switches the headlamps from full beam to protect yourself from dazzling other traffic. Lane departure warning. Alerts the motorist if they drift from lane without indicating. This is actually very irritating in reality. It's hair trigger sensitive and emits a harsh beeping noise should you touch a white line. Moving object detection. Should a moving object come in their range when maneuvering, the around view cameras trigger an audible warning and highlight the rough location on the object about the display screen. Traffic sign recognition. Front-facing camera watches speed limit signs and displays them around the instrument panel. Function works abroad in Europe, too. Rear cross-traffic alert. New in 2017's Facelift is this fact system that can alert you when you're going to reverse into a road having a car approaching on the side. Coming in autumn 2017 is ProPilot, Nissan's new semi-autonomous system. It will use radar and cameras to look at overdriving duties, especially circumstances, for example in a traffic jam or in a motorway cruise. Spacious, flexible interior. All designs have a 60 hours 40 minutes split rear seat. Plenty of storage for oddments. Nissan Qashqai practicality credentials are actually boosted with the second-generation model with greater interior space and luggage capacity. The tailgate opens over before, with special provision so you don't bash your head for the tailgate, significant problem for the Mk1 Qashqai, and boot volume is currently 430 liters together with the seats up 20 liters over previously. On all trims the back seats fold in the 60 hours 40 minutes split and fold almost completely flat. The boot floor is comprised of two panels which could be positioned at two heights, either lower to raise boot space or older to make for just a flatter floor if the rear seats are folded. In their highest position there isn't much of your lip involving the boot space and tailgate, which makes it reasonably an easy task to slide heavy items out on the boot. Both floor panels possess a carpet surface on one side as well as a wipe clean surface around the other, helpful when carrying wet or muddy items. The rearward panel also can be stood upright to divide the boot into two sections, to separate your lives dry and wet items one example is, or just to help you stop your shopping rolling around. Helpfully, the parcel shelf might be stored within the boot floor when needed. A tire repair kit in lieu of any spare wheel is standard, an effective spare wheel is at extra cost. It's worth noting this option is not available in case you spec the rich-sounding Bose stereo, because woofers are positioned from the spare wheel well. Plastic hooks to hang bags on are molded into the boot sides, while in the cabin there's more interior storage area than before, which has a large central storage box involving the front seats. This features an aux-in socket, USB port and 12V socket for charging electrics, having a space beneath the lid to perform a cable through so devices might still be plugged in if not stowed inside box itself. Nissan Qashqai practicality credentials have already been boosted for your second-generation model with greater interior space and luggage capacity. The tailgate opens more than before, with special provision so you don't bash your head within the tailgate, significant problem for the Mk1 Qashqai, and boot volume is currently 430 liters together with the seats up 20 liters over previously. On all trims the trunk seats fold within a 60 hours 40 minutes split and fold almost completely flat. The boot floor consists of two panels which is usually positioned at two heights, either lower to improve boot space or better to make for the flatter floor if the rear seats are folded. In their highest position there isn't much of your lip between boot space and tailgate, rendering it reasonably very easy to slide heavy items out from the boot. Both floor panels employ a carpet surface on one side as well as a white clean surface about the other, helpful when carrying wet or muddy items. The rearward panel may also be stood upright to divide the boot into two sections, to discover dry and wet items as an example, or just to aid stop your shopping rolling around. Helpfully, the parcel shelf may be stored in the boot floor when needed. A tire repair kit in lieu of any spare wheel is standard. A suitable spare wheel is offered by extra cost. It's worth noting that that option is not available when you spec the rich-sounding Bose stereo, since the woofers are positioned within the spare wheel well. Plastic hooks to hang affordable handbags on are molded in the boot sides, while inside cabin there exists more interior space for storage than before, using a large central storage box between front seats. This features an aux socket, USB port and 12V socket for charging electrics, which has a space beneath the lid to operate a cable through, so devices is usually still be plugged in if not stowed inside the box itself.